All right, everybody. You know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming on right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host and minister, Jonathan Simmons. And we thank God again for all those of you who have joined us here to watch the broadcast or listen to the broadcast live, or especially big shout out to those of you who are watching on the replay or archive. Thank you, and thank you. We're off to a late start today because I fell asleep at the kitchen table. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's right. I grabbed a meal. My daughter had gotten us some food, and evidently I must have been very tired because soon after I found myself knocked out, and I woke up and I was like, "Uh, where am I? Who am I?" And realized the time was far past 8 p.m. when we normally come on. But thank the Lord, we are in the building. Big shout out on social media to my man, Sully. Yeah, Sully, the Rev, the preacher, was sleeping at the kitchen table. Fortunately for me, most of my food was already eaten, so I did not fall asleep and have myself nod into a plate of food. So, praise the Lord, here we are. And thank you very much for tuning in for us. Yeah, Sully said him too. He kind of like, oh, fatigue. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it was funny because fatigue is a funny thing. It really kind of slips up on you. You really don't know or realize. And then next thing you know, like I said, you get real comfortable. It was we got some takeout food, had some fried rice, some fried chicken wings, and next thing you know, it was thank you, good night. And the good minister was out like a light. But I said when I woke up, it was already like I think 8:05 or something like that. I said, okay, well, listen, I still got to go on. This is the way it works. Show must go on. You can't just not do the show. So get yourself together, get some glasses on or something, and get yourself on the air. So here we are. Um, because here's the thing, I just want to say this. I really appreciate everybody that tunes into this broadcast because you can be doing all types of other things, and the fact that you guys take some time to be with us, we appreciate it. And Sully said, "Oh, I done got one of his favorites." He said, "Oh Lord, he coming over." Yeah. Well, like you said, guys, again, I appreciate all of you who kind of hang in there. I do have a regular job that I do, and I got to be there 8 o'clock. And sometimes I think I just you know, one of those days. But anyway, no excuses. We're in the house. There was, as always, lots of stuff going on in the world of sports through the weekend and the last couple of days. We guys, we talk football, we talk the Falcons, NFL. We normally bring on D. Orlando Ledbetter, but actually, right now, D. Led is on the road, on the move. He is at the owners' meetings. Yeah, D. Led is there, getting some good stuff, and hopefully next week he'll talk to us. You can also check him out on tomorrow morning. He'll have some stuff written on his Cover 9 on 9 blog. I caught a clip of him on YouTube, actually, on the Falcons page, getting his questions in for the Falcons' new head coach, Raheem Morris. So look for our man D-Led to come up with some good stuff about what's going on with the Falcons in the next couple of days. I got to check him out on ajc.com. Also check him out on at D Orlando Led on Instagram. And here's his information right here. That's it. At D Orlando AJC. And on Instagram, he's at D Orlando Led. Please, guys, check him out. Also, you can go to his blog. There it is. You'll see it on the ticker behind us there, right down below. That is the blog to catch D-Led's program. To get his information, which you'll have lots of, I'm sure, because he is now currently at the owners' meetings, which I think are in Orlando, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's there. He is there. And like I said, again, we look forward to him to bring us some great stuff. Well, the other thing that we do is we actually, thank the Lord, are able to go out and cover some of our professional teams right here in the Atlanta area, as well as covering high school and football. But last night, we were on the scene live for an absolutely unsuspected, truly impossible. And I found myself saying, like the announcer said some 30 plus years ago, Jack Buck, when he saw a unexpected Kirk Gibson home run in game one of the World Series against the A's, he simply said, I can't believe what I just saw. And that's exactly what I had to say last night. I could not believe what I just saw after watching the Atlanta Hawks. Unfortunately, have been, as one writer said, one of the most disappointing teams in the NBA this year. A team that is just holding on to the number 10 spot for a NBA playoff play-in. And they were hosting the team that was boasting the best record in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, powerhouse team led by Jason Tatum, an all-NBA pick, and his running partner, Mr. Jaylen Brown, who's also an NBA All-Star. And everybody was thinking to ourselves, this had all the makings of a blowout. And in fact, for the first quarter and a half, that's exactly what we saw. The Hawks actually went down. First, they got doubled up. They were down 44-22. And at one point, they were down 63-33. That's right. The Hawks were down by a staggering 30 points. And then something odd began to happen. The Hawks began to start making their shots. They started chipping away. They started playing some decent defense. And Boston continued to bomb away from three-point range. And we had a situation where I started telling people, hey, you know what? If the Hawks can at least get this lead down under 20, we might have something interesting. And lo and behold, that's exactly what they did, cutting the score down to 74 to, I think it was 74-57 at the half. And I said, well, they're at least in shouting distance. Who knew that the Hawks would come out of the locker room and rip off a 9-0 run to get the lead under double digits? And next thing you know, by the time I turn around, midway through the third quarter, the Hawks had taken a 30-point lead from the second quarter and shriveled it all the way down to just 3 points. That's right, the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks who are missing Trae Young. The Atlanta Hawks who are missing Jalen Johnson. The Atlanta Hawks who are missing Okongwu. The Atlanta Hawks who are missing a grand total of 7 players off of their team found a way to come back and make this game interesting. But wait, there's more. The Hawks continued to come back and continue to come back. And in the fourth quarter, the Hawks finally did the unthinkable. They, in fact, caught the Celtics and tied the game. But wait, there's more. The Hawks took the lead. The last lead they took for good, what was just under 10 seconds to go, with DeJounte Murray, a guy who had been spectacular as far as dishing the ball, somewhat less spectacular as far as scoring. Even though he had 19 points, he shot somewhere around 30% from the floor. But when the Hawks absolutely had to have a basket, DeJounte Murray made a clutch bucket, and the Hawks found themselves up by a single point with less than 10 seconds to go. Celtics with the ball. Celtics get it down, take a shot. Miles, wild scramble for the rebound. And then the ball is caught by the big Swissman, our man, down in the paint, grabs the ball, throws it out. to DeAndre Hunter, a guy who is for many people in Atlanta been somewhat disappointing after be picked number 4 in the first round several years ago. But he was having an epic game, 21 points already, several clutch shots, but no more clutch than this one with just under 10 seconds to go. After a perfect feed from Clint Capella, he calmly stepped up and without a hitch, a beautiful three-pointer hit nothing but net. Hawks go up by 4. Ball game, the dagger. Hawks win 120 to 118 over the Boston Celtics. And like I said, a game that was just incredible to be there in person to watch. Let's go to social media here. Let's pop in and see what folks on social media are saying. Well, Sully has said, yep, the the one and only Shucky Ducky is in the building, and Pastor Jay Dirty Bird. I got a new nickname. We used to call him Jay Slice, but we Jay Dirty Bird now. So they also says, uh, 50 seconds, second left in the game. That's right, when they got a lead. And the comeback was, in fact, incredible. And he said, yeah, from downtown, the Hawks, the big reason why the Hawks won really was a shift in the shooting. In the first quarter, the Celtics shot 65% from the floor, including about 55% from three. Well, you're going to put up a lot of points when you have great players like the Celtics, though, and that's what they did. That's why they dropped an astonishing 74 points in the first half. But to the Hawks' credit, all these guys, many of them you guys have never heard of. They were, what do you call them, G League refugees, all that kind of stuff. The bottom line is these second and third stringers came out and clamped down on that potent Boston offense and held Boston to 22 points in the third and only 22 points in the fourth. As like I said again, the Hawks just had a comeback for the ages, winning the game 120 to 118. So big kudos to the Hawks and their players for, like I said again, just doing the unthinkable, man. They went out there and just balled out. I mean, they really just balled out in the second half. Let's go over the box score just a little bit here. I'm going to try to get a clip of some of the post game if I can. I'm going to do that for you if I can be able to do that. Like we did get in the locker room afterwards, and we hope and pray that we'll be able to get some clips of the coaches interview and also the interview with some of the players. We'll try to get that for you in just a moment. But yeah, it actually was historic. This was the biggest comeback this year by any team in the league, and it was the biggest comeback in recorded Hawks history. Hawks had never come back from a 30-point deficit against anybody, even against the Harlem Globetrotters, Bobo the Clown, our local high school team. Never have the Hawks done anything like that. So like I said, it was really great to be there. And you know what the crazy thing is? I was ready to go home. I mean, literally, I was thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to call this an early day. I got to work in the morning, so I'm out of here. But like I said, I got to give them Hawks credit, man. They did exactly what nobody thought they were going to do, which was knock off a team that they trailed by 30, and more importantly, a team that was up to this point one of the best teams, matter of fact, the best team in the NBA as far as the record. So, yeah, kudos to the Hawks. Let's see if we can again get this video up here for you with Vic Krajicek. I think his name is, a guy who is pretty much an unheralded player, and get his comments on what it was like to be put on to the pedestal in the forefront in this game. Let's see if we can kind of get the recording up here. We'll see if we can pull up for you real quick. Again, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. I'll be hosting Minister Jonathan Simmons. And we, again, thank everybody for hanging with us. We had a situation where the minister fell asleep. So it is, I appreciate you guys hanging in there and allowing me to continue to do this broadcast. Like I said, again, we're going to try to get some of the postseason comments here by Vic Krajicek. I think that's his name, a guy who was really at one point like a third stringer, and just see if we can get his comments on what it felt like to be out there and to be clutch. Because one of the things that he did, which was very, very critical, was that he played outstanding defense on Jason Jason Tatum in the second half. Tatum was unstoppable in the first half. The guy dropped 23 points. He did finish with over 30 points for the game, but in the second half, especially down the stretch, Krajicek's defense really kind of discombobulated him. and it was allowed, like you said, the Hawks to be able to come back. And then again, the Hawks towards shooting. They had three guys that, like you said, were third string guys, and they be like a law firm. Matthews, and Krychek. Those guys combined for a total of 7 3-pointers, and they were 7 of 11 from three in the second half. And they were the reason again why the Hawks were able to pull out this victory, 120 to 118 over the Boston Celtics. And it's really a shame that the Hawks as a team have been so erratic this year and been able to really do what you'll hear the players talk about, to be a team that was a cohesive team, to be a team that was able to play consistently winning basketball. Because the Hawks have shown you they have the ability to play well against top teams. They've beaten OKC, a team with the second best record or third best record in the Western Division. They've knocked off the Lakers. The Lakers were injured at the time. They did split the series with the Lakers, a team that is going to be a playoff team. They split the series with the Warriors, another team that's going to be a playoff team. Even though Steph Curry scorched them for like 52 points, it didn't matter. They won the game. And this is a team that beat the Milwaukee Bucks handily in Milwaukee. This is a team that has beaten the Knicks at the Garden. So this is a team that has beaten playoff teams throughout the season. The problem is the Hawks have been unable to be consistent as far as it. They'll win 3-4 games in a row, and then they'll turn around and lose 3-4 games in a row. They'll play great against top quality opponents, and they'll play poorly against teams they should beat. But to their credit, recently, since the Trae Young and the whole spat of injuries they've had, I will say for the last half dozen games, they have apparently found some way to really be galvanized as a team. And you see them playing much better team ball. You see them playing much better defense. And so it's just a shame that this team would play so poorly where they're going to have to, in essence, for the Hawks to advance into the second or third round or any type of depth into the NBA playoffs, they're going to be forced to beat the Boston Celtics basically 6 of the next 8 times they play them in order to win and advance in the NBA. Because even if they go ahead and knock off the Celtics when they come here on Thursday, which ironically was really weird, a scheduling glitch, that they will be back here in Atlanta for a Thursday night game. Even if they win the play-in game, being a 10th seed, and get to the playoffs, guess who's going to be waiting for them as the number 1 seed in the NBA East? That's right, the Boston Celtics. So they got an uphill climb, and it's just too bad that this team hasn't played more consistently early on. Well, let's listen to Mr. Krychek as he talks about the Hawks, their comeback, and guys like himself being able to get the playing time that they weren't accustomed to before.
Statement win like this. How did it feel celebrating with your guys after this one?
It felt amazing. That's one of the most beautiful feelings in basketball, especially after a game like that. So we just got to find a way to feel like that after most of the games or after every game, So we just got to build on this. It's a big win for us. But we still got a couple more games home. We got Boston again, and we know that they're going to come out ready to play. So we got to take care of the Portland game and take care of the Boston game again. So I feel it can give us a good momentum.
Talk about trust. People look at this team, they talk about who's not here, but the people who are here.
Yeah.
Just talk about how that's doing you guys.
Yeah, for sure. It's a next man mentality. We got a couple guys out, but we still believe that with the roster we have right now, we can compete with anybody. And I feel like that's when the confidence come from. We didn't, even when we were down 30 something, we didn't got scared. We didn't, we just kept chipping away, and we were able to turn a game like that. So like I said, we were very confident. We don't think about who's not here, but we just got to make the best of who's here. And I feel like we've been playing really well, and we just got to continue doing that way. And once the guys come back, we can be even better. So yeah.
You talk about things sort of snowballing. Is that, I think after one of those threes, you kind of turned to the bench and gave the look like, I can't.
Yeah.
Was it almost unbelievable to you what y'all were doing at that moment? Like you said, it was almost like
it was going in. It was a snowball effect, like I said, it felt like everything was going well. So It was just that's how I felt at the time. So yeah, like I said before, this the think about where I was last year, not playing and all that. It's just feel amazing just to be on a court, you know. So I'm enjoying every moment that I'm there. I'm really grateful for every moment, every second that I'm on the floor. I'm not gonna take it granted because I know at any second it could go away. So yeah, I'm really glad that I'm able to play on a team like this where, you know, people playing together, they trust in each other, and we just continue fighting.
You mentioned, you know, last year, and you know, if you look at the last 12 months, what's changed for you on the defensive end of the floor?
I think my time with Skyhook definitely helped. You know, they're doing a really good job there, being focused on defensive end, and that really helped me, you know, transitioning from there to the NBA. And you know, like I said before, I know the reason I'm playing is because of my defense, not because of my offense. But you know, like I said, they're doing a really good job in the G League with Coach Ryan, you know, and he gave me a lot of confidence in that. So yeah, I think it's just being prepared, just keep working on it, you know, just being ready.
Everybody's talked a lot about the team working together and the excitement. The crowd was really loud as you guys started getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
How big was that as an impact on your guys coming back in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, the crowd is our sixth player, so you know, it's always nice to you know, they get us going too. So yeah, we just need more games like this. You know, more games where we're playing like that. The crowd is engaged like that, and you know, it just pushes us to never give up.
How would you describe?
The raucous crowd, it kind of reminded me of a few years back when the Hawks played Boston in the playoffs, and the place was just rocking. Let's go here to social media. Our man Todd, he said, Preacher, it's over for the Hawks. It's too little too late. I will say the team plays better as a team without trade him. Well, I will tell you that that kind of conversation is going to continue to come up because there's no question that you say to yourself, we're paying top dollar for a guy to, you know, get us to the promised land. And although we had one magical run now 3 years ago, since that point and before that, we have not seen that. And actually, for every year since that run to the NBA Eastern Division championship, the Hawks have actually went backwards. So it does make you kind of consider what's going on with the team. Let's listen to the coach himself as he talks about the Hawks' performance as well.
Coach, what's been the change with this team mentally? Because it seems like they're playing with a whole lot more confidence since all these injuries have come about.
Yeah, you know, we've been putting time in. You know, I think even on the road, you know, there was opportunities where we practiced, and our guys have been working. You know, and little things, you know, that don't always translate to the game, but we've been able to, you know, to take some of that to the game. And, you know, trying to continue to build habits. But our guys have made those things important, whether it's something, the simplest things. You know, I thought we're running harder. You know, we're not getting caught in purgatory defensively in transition defense. Guys are, I mean, I guess the biggest thing to me is guys are focused on helping each other. You know, what can I do for my teammate? And, you know, that's when you put your mind there and you're thinking about someone else and how you can help them, whatever that means. I mean, setting the screen, blocking out, running back, you know, spacing, passing, all those things that manifest itself a lot of ways.
When Clint.
Well, there you got it, guys. That was the feedback from the Hawks head coach, Quinn Snyder, also from Vic Kalajdzic. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And like I said, again, it was epic watching the Hawks, you know, come back like that. And it is a shame that we're getting this type of play this late in the season where the Hawks don't have any ability to really impact their playoff position and maybe getting to a point where they could have a run. Now, I will say this, you know, sports is funny. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, you know, this team, based on what we've seen, could in fact go inside of a run. And when Trey comes back, if Trey could somehow get himself into the chemistry of this team with his offensive firepower, I mean, they could go on a run. I mean, this. I know it seems bizarre, but this team could go on a run. Well, just one last thing before we go to a break. This was what it sounded like at Phillips Arena. That was it as the Hawks wrapped it up. 121-18, a shocking come from behind upset over the number one ranked team in the NBA right now, the Boston Celtics. Well, look, we're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be back with we will be back with more than one Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
Coming up next, it's the Real Talk Sports Show, bringing you great sports talk with perspective. Now, here's our host, Jonathan Simmons.
What's going on? What's going on? We're back here for the Real Talk Sports Show. Like I mentioned earlier, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'll mention again, I am the host of this show. I am Minister Jonathan Simmons. Please follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. That's where we are. And please, if you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our page. We need you. We're trying to get to the spectacular number of 1,000 subscribers, and we cannot do it without you. So please go on to social media and subscribe. Right now, as I mentioned earlier, D. Orlando Ledbetter, our football expert for the Falcons, especially, he is the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports. He also does a wonderful blog, and he also has a Facebook page as well that he administers. So check him out. But today he will not be with us tonight because he is on the road. He's actually at the owners' meetings where the owners made some big decisions in terms of rules and regulations that will be going forward next year. One of the things that they have done is they have now disallowed a form of tackling. They call it the hip drop tackle has been banned, where you kind of go alongside a player and then let your weight collapse downward, and that helps bring the player to the ground. They said they examined over 200 tackles, and they said from that, I think 15 players were seriously injured. So they have decided now that they're going to ban that hip drop style of tackling. Now, the interesting thing is now they have come out and said, hey, this is all for player safety. And ironically, the NFL Players Association are kind of up in arms. They're like, hold up, we don't want that, which is strange to me that a rule that the owners are saying that, in fact, is going to help save player injuries. The players themselves and the Players Association are in disagreement and do not want this. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull this up here. The other rule they've changed here is the rule on kickoff returns. What they have done is that they have found that since the NFL made some changes a few years back to try to quote unquote avoid injuries, on a kickoff, we basically, I can understand a guy sprinting, 30, 40, 50 yards, and a situation where guys got to run and start, hit a player, it could cause severe injury. And, because you think about it, you had a ball being kicked off from the 35-yard line. most kickers in the NFL can get the ball clear into the end zone. You have virtually no kickoff returns. So guys like the gentleman that just got inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, Devin, why did I just draw a blank? Anyway, he played here for the Falcons for a while as well. Kickoff returner, legendary kickoff returner, and basically people were thinking his record, 7 touchdown returns, even a guy like that just broke his record, played by here, Cordell Patterson. People were saying those guys were basically going to be dinosaurs, but not so fast. Now they have reinstalled the kickoff to be something that is going to be an exciting play. They have totally changed the way kickoffs are going to be done. They're going to be doing something very much like the XFL. If you want to kind of see that, go to the XFL or go right now onto YouTube, and you'll see multiple films of how the new setup is going to look. So I'll just read it from you from the AP headline. This is what it says. Now kickoffs, and make sure I got this thing straight, baby. It says that now kickoffs are going to be like this. It says, I've drawn a blank. I'm sorry. He said the kickoffs now will have this. 9 blockers, at least, will be set up in what they call the setup zone between the 30 and the 35-yard line, with at least 7 of those players actually touching the 35. The kickoffs would allow also 2 returners to be allowed inside the 20. So the team could set up, you could have as many as 9 guys. They couldn't be any farther ahead than the 30 and 35-yard line, talking about this setup zone. And then you would have 2 returners actually set up inside the 20. And the ball would be kicked off. There would be no more fair catches. That's out. So there's going to be a kickoff return of some type almost on every kickoff. What happens is that only the kicker and the 2 returns will be allowed to move the ball until it hits the ground or is touched by a returner inside the 20. Any kick that reaches the end zone in the air can be returned, or the receiving team can opt for a touchback and possession at the 30. It said any kick that reaches the end zone in the air and goes out of bounds or in the end zone also result in a touchback at the 30, not the 40 like it was before. It said if the ball hits a returner on the ground before the end zone and goes into the end zone, same thing will be a touchback, but this time it would be back at the 20-yard line. So the bottom line is that you're going to see kick returns on every single play of some type. And interestingly enough, I think the Falcons, because Rich McKay is on the committee for the rules, the Falcons now, the moves they made, the last 2 free agent signings they brought in, now it makes perfect sense that Rich McKay had a good idea that this rule is going to come into pass, because both of these guys they picked up, both Ray McLeod and man, why am I drawing a blank? This is what happens when you wake up out of a sleep or stupor. The young man they brought in from, Lord help me. Let me just go ahead and go to my overlay, and we'll see the guys we're talking about. Here it is right here. Let's get the overlay here. There's the first guy they picked up. There they are right there, Rondell Moore and Ray McLeod. Both of these guys are going to be critical. And now, like I said, again, it makes sense. I was like, when they got these 2 guys, like, who are these guys? I never heard of them in my life. I mean, I saw their highlights. Both guys said they caught the ball very well. But Ray McLeod and Rondell Moore are now going to be offensive weapons that the Falcons have added, not just to fill up their receiver room with speed, but now to take advantage of this brand new kickoff return style where they're going to have the 2 returners back where every single kick is going to be returned. So as much as everybody likes to badmouth Rich McKay evidently gave the Falcons the insight to let them know that, hey, we're about to change these rules, and have brought in 2 players that are going to impact the way the Falcons offense is going to be able to get their start. So what you're going to see next year is a Falcon offense, and not just the Falcons, but a lot of teams, you're going to see a lot more scoring next year, because more and more teams are going to have a much shorter field to start off drives. And like I said, again, as far as the Falcons are concerned, this is going to be big for them because they have 2 guys that are outstanding kick returners, great speed and great ability to break tackles on kick returns. So, again, look for this Falcons offense to be a potent team in 2024. Yeah, look for the Falcons to make some noise with these additions they've made, which now start to make sense. And somebody else had told me when I was looking at all the moves the Falcons made, first bringing in, a veteran quarterback in the way of Kirk Cousins, and then began to stockpile these wide receivers like the Rondell Moores, like the Daniel Mooney from Chicago, the Ray McLeod. These guys that have all this speed, and especially in the case of Moore and McLeod, have shown they have outstanding hands. Bringing in a guy like Charlie Warner at tight end, you've done a couple of things. You have now bolstered an offense which is going to have a lot of short fields with these kick returns. And they've gotten, in addition to some guys that can help, Drake London and Kyle Pitts in that wide receiver room, they also have some guys that can block in terms of the way of Warner. That's going to add to this because they now have a quarterback that is a standard type of drop back quarterback with great accuracy and great on the play action fake in the way of Kirk Cousins. Well, guys, when we talk some football, not only do we bring in D. Orlando Ledbetter, but we have a gentleman that knows what it's like to be on the field. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion, played in the NFL for over a decade, National Black College Alumni Hall of Famer. He's the first ever Carolina Panthers defensive draft selection. He's number 38, but he's number 1 with us. Tyrone Poole is in the building. Tyrone, welcome back, sir.
Hey, Jonathan, what's going on? How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, once again, the NFL is making some changes to Tyrone. Have you heard about some of the things they've now have conjured up in the owners' meetings as far as new rules?
Yeah, I have. And, it's one of them things that you shake your head at, and the tackling, I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people are talking about. From a defensive standpoint, a defensive guy, I'm like, I understand what they're trying to do, but I use myself as an example. What if I was trying to tackle, I played the game at 190. So what if I was trying to tackle a guy who is, I don't know, somebody like Henry, I would have to use that drop weight to bring that guy down. If not, he just gonna drag me. So some of the stuff, I don't know if the people who are making these decisions, I don't know if they ever played football themselves, right? I think it's all about, like Jerry Maguire says, show me the money type of deal, and then the other one, the kickoff, my question is, whoever invented that style, I hope that they trademarked that particular style and brand of football, because I'm pretty sure with the way it was created that they probably could have gotten I'm losing my train of thought here. Actually,
some kind of trademark or something, right?
Trademark the process. And if they did, then the NFL, just made them some money because somebody just got paid, because that's what the NFL now is going to use. So in order to use it, if it's been trademarked or that particular action has been copywritten, then the NFL got to pay whoever the owner is that developed that style. So, and I'm pretty sure they're going to use it for a while. So somebody just got paid. What's that song? Just got paid.
Just got paid, baby. Well, here's the thing. You would think that the people that came up with this, they are very astute business people. And of course, I'm referring to the brand new, I guess they call it the USFL, the United States League of Football League, because this is basically what they did. It's a very, very minor modification of what we saw first done by the XFL. As a matter of fact, I've told people earlier, Tyrone, you go on to YouTube and you can actually see the clips of how they're set up, but that's what it is. And what the NFL saw from watching is, hey, you know what? This creates a little excitement to begin the game. And, oh, you know what? We don't have to worry about guys running 40 yards and getting ahead of steam and knocking somebody crazy. We actually have a situation where we might be able to cut down injuries, but bring back the kickoff return, which, Tyrone, that's one of the more exciting plays in football.
And let me add this as well, Jonathan. Not only, I'm going to talk about it from a gambling standpoint.
Well, there we go. So show me the money.
If you got the kickoff return, because before they had taken the kickoff return out of the game, so they're taking points out of the game. So now, you know what, to cover the spread, or if a team gets behind, you know what, now to close that gap of the spread, you got now another option to score points, right? To put points on the board there. Yeah. So, you know, again, my thing is, you know, why did you take it out in the beginning? And of course, they're going to cover it up with, you know, injury protection. I get that. But again, at the end of the day, I think they sat down and they're like, hey, we got to find ways to put more points on the board. You know, we're now in casinos, right? We got to cover the spread, right? So let's introduce the kickoff back again. All right. Well, how do we do it? How do we do it? All right. Well, let's take a look at what the XFL, what they did, right? And let's use that as a modification, and boom, there you go. So that's what I look at. That's what I see.
No doubt about it, man. Here's what the opinion was of head coach Andy Reid. He said, I'm all for it. And I'm reading from the AP.com site, APnews.com site. It says, I'm all for it. Chiefs coach Andy Reid said, you have 2,000 dead plays. Nobody wants to see that. It'll add excitement and newness. And like I said earlier, guys, as much as people slam Rich McKay gave the Falcons the inside edge. Tyrone, I was wondering, why would they stack up with these receivers that were known for speed? Why would they get two guys that had talents in kick returning as well as being wide receivers in the young man Rondell Moore and Ray from the Cardinals? Well, that's because Rich McKay sits on the committee to change the rules.
Hey, it's almost like, you know, it's like these people, these big corporations, right? They get the tips on when they know when they're about to get raided. They get about to get raided, so they get tips and they get out of town, or they sell their stocks, or they sell their shares because they got insider trade.
Insider trading, baby. Yes, sir. And Falcons fans, you have benefited. That's why Rondell Moore and Ray McLeod were selected on this team. It's not just to bolster the receiving room, but to take advantage of a rule change that Rich McKay knew was coming down the pike. And so now you get into a situation where the Falcons offense, which many people think it should be one of the best in the league next year, will find themselves with the quarterback's dream. Several opportunities with shorter fields. Tyrone, you know from playing the game, it's a lot harder to defend a team for 55 yards than for 75 yards. It's going to be exactly what you talked about. A lot more scoring, a lot more up and down the field excitement, which sells tickets, especially since, oh, by the way, the NFL is expanding again. We're having a game played in Brazil. We're also having 2 more games scheduled for Christmas Day, even though it falls on a Wednesday. NFL is smelling the money, sir, and they're doing everything they can to make it.
Yeah, you need to get that little plug from Jerry Maguire and make it a sound bite. Make it a sound bite, because everything going forward that we talk about, any type of sport, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, life. You know, people go to work because there you go. Show me the money. You're not going to take a job working at a particular place unless they show you the money. How much you going to pay me? That's the first. Hey, that's one of the things people ask, right? If it's not the first thing, it's the last thing. Okay, you say I'm supposed to do what? Okay, how much you gonna pay me?
Show me the money.
Show me the money. So people talk about sports, but actually, show me the money is just as well living in sports as people's lives. Nobody gonna take a job unless they show them the money. So yeah, show me the money. You need to get that and put that as a sound bite. So whenever we talk about something, you just press that button and show me the money.
Who knows, Tyrone? I might listen. I might take a clip of you when you say it and just pop it on. Show me the money.
Do Jerry Maguire. Do Jerry Maguire. we would actually have to do it in a way where I get recorded in a good sound booth room. So I would
good sound booth. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, at the end of the day, it is no doubt that it is about that. The one of the greatest college football coaches ever has went into, I think, probably retiring a couple of years early. Why? Because as his wife said, honey, the kids, all they want to do is ask you how much money they're going to get paid. Yeah. And that's the way it is. And I'm not going to blame the kids. The college presidents have been greedy all along. Kids have been getting money all along. And so now the situation, because they can't control it, is like, well, I'm out of here. but it is going down to the same reason. It's show me the money. Everybody wants their share. NILs are on and popping. It's for the men. It's for the women. That's what sports has become, man. It's become all about the money. Well, I tell you guys, we would love to stay with you all night, but we can't. We got to go. But you know how it is, guys. Before we go, we always want to make sure that you know all about our guest or co-host that are on with us. So, Mr. Tyrone Poole, we're going to get your screen set up, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jonathan. Always good to jump on with you and keep doing Real Talk Sports and informing people about what's going on, not only in Atlanta, the state of Georgia, but all around this country, and the world, because there are sports and former players that are playing internationally. So, they still have fans, and, fans still want to know what's going on with sports. So I appreciate you, Jonathan. Anybody want to reach out, you can contact me at TyronePool38.com, and also all social media, Tyrone Pool 38. So just add a .com on it. It'll take you to my website. Appreciate you, Jonathan.
You sir, Tyrone. Appreciate you. God bless you till the next time. Remember, guys, it's real easy. It's on the screen. Tyrone Pool 38. All right, guys, I'm a real live minister, and before I go, I always want to encourage you. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Nobody, absolutely nobody loves you like Jesus. He's the one that came, died for you, and he rose from the dead. And if you repent of your sins and believe in him, two great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that happy, spectacular place called heaven. No pain, no pandemics. You never get old. You never die. It's a beautiful and sunny place all the time because the glory of God illuminates the kingdom. Every single building adorned with the most spectacular jewels ever created. Even the streets paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. You avoid that nasty place called hell. All the things I just mentioned, you're in heaven, won't be in hell. It's dark, it's dreary, it's painful. You're hanging out with the devil and all the demons and all the evil people of the world. But most of all, you cut off from God, from Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, we simply say, as we always do, God bless you and have a wonderful day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care.